Hello. Oh, wow. Looks like a camera needs to be cleaned. Oh, that's better.
Quit putting your fingers on it.
I didn't put my fingers on it. Dang dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, we's going to talk about um, how motorcycles should get the same respect as a car. I put the link down so if anybody wants to come in, they can. You know, just tell me I'm live. But yeah, we're gonna talk about why motorcycles should get the same respect as a car. Hey Vegas, how you doing? Looking forward to your one live stream. I believe you're gonna have pretty soon, if I'm correct. Um, Tonight or tomorrow. I'd have to relook. Um, but motorcycles should be treated the same as a car on the road, in a parking lot, anywhere. Um, too many people decide that they see a motorcycle in a parking spot. They're going to um, park behind you. Well, their reasoning is because you can get out and then they'll move into their spot. Well, you know, if you think about it, yeah, okay, but why I treat the motorcycle any different than a car? You know, I mean, I just yesterday a guy parked behind me for the second time, and hi gunpowder, how you doing? And things are going great, Vegas. So far, so good. Weekend's coming up. I got a Renaissance Festival to work at this year, and I'll be slinging beer again. But this guy decides to park behind me. He's offset a little bit, and I parked my motorcycle down to the end of the parking spot so that I'm not blocked in. And I see him come walk in, and I ask him. I said, "Hey, you got to move your car because you parked behind me. You know you're not supposed to do that." And he looked at me and goes, "Well, when you leave, I'm going to move my car up into your spot." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "You're not going to move your car up." I said, "You're going to move your car from behind me, whether I can get out or not. You should treat my motorcycle the same as a regular car in a parking spot." And he looked at me and he gave me a look. I said, "Look, either way, you see a motorcycle, you're going to treat me. Why are you going to treat me different than a car? Why? Because I'm one vehicle and a skinny vehicle, and you can park behind me and get away with it?" No, I reported his ass. And within 5 minutes, he got his car moved and didn't say anything to me after that. And then today I rode the bike in and I didn't see him. He parked up on the other side of the building where he works. So um, I've got my kilt. Just if you want to do that, then I can wait. Anyways, then there's other times where I've been driving down the road and car decides they want to pass me, so they shoot over to the right side of me if I'm in the left lane and just cut half my lane. You know, they don't treat they just don't treat a motorcycle like they would a car. You know, and they don't realize what they're doing. They potentially are going to hurt someone. You know, because vehicle in front is going to stop, motorcycle's going to hit the brakes, ain't got nowhere to go because there's a car cutting you off on the right side. Or if you're on the right hand side, you're cutting you off on the left. That happened to me just earlier this week. I think it was Monday. And to where I was coming home up on 169 North, just right outside of New Hope Crystal area, and a Stanley steamer truck. We're flying along doing 70 and a 60. And next thing you know, he abruptly turns to the right and hits the brakes. And here I am looking at cars with their brake lights on. I hit my brakes and I start moving to the left, and the car behind me cut my lane and moved off to the right. Actually, I'm glad he did that, because if he didn't, I would have been hit. No, I'm in Minnesota. New Hope is one of the towns on, just on their way to my house. Some of my old stomping grounds. Right there on 169 North, if you look at Minneapolis, you'll see 169. Follow that north, you'll find New Hope. And so I was lucky that the car actually cut the lane and moved over to the right. And otherwise, I would have been hit. I would have been in serious trouble, because hard to stop when you're doing 70 and then you see brake lights. So I caught up to the guy. Actually, this was like last week. I believe last week. But I caught up to the guy and found out he was on his phone, just zipping through his phone, not paying anyone attention. Got to where I needed to go and got off the bike. I called up Stanley Steamer and I filed a complaint. I don't know what happened up to it. They never called me back. But, and I told them, being on a motorcycle, this guy moves over abruptly and he's on his phone and I see brake lights. What's that going to do to me? I don't think that's being treated a car like a motorcycle like a car, but, close to it. Yeah, Vegas, if you've never been here, I say come experience it once, just once, only because of the sheer beauty up here. We got a couple forests up here. We got Lake Superior. Duluth is right there on Superior, along with two harbors, lighthouses. Just, it's really beautiful up here. What do I ride? I ride a 2011 Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero, which is a 1700, and those things don't stop on a dime. They don't. I actually lit them up. I I was skidding for a little bit. So that scared the hell out of me. You know, made that out all right. I didn't get hurt. I was able to continue on and get to my destination, and then picked up what I needed to there and rode home. You know, after I filed the complaint, of course. There's been times where I've seen at work and other places where you park your bike in the parking spot and people rationalize that, oh, the motorcycle's over here, so they will park next to you, try to share your parking spot. You know, and that happened to me at work. I bitched about that. And the guy moved his car. Well, then the next day, another guy rode his bike in, which he had a Victory at the time. And he went and did the same thing to that guy. So I said something again. The guy left. Hey, quiet! Sorry about it being loud, guys.
Hang on. Daisy, you don't get to hug all the bones.
Sorry about that. We had a guest come in. But anyways, I got on my bike, moved it over to the other one. So when the guy came back, he couldn't park in the same parking spot and crowd the bike. And he got pissed off at me for it. Well, sorry to say, you know, that he
Okay. Did he end up living in with us?
you know, like I said, he got pissed at me for it, and oh well, no skin off my back, you know. Well, let's see. You thought I was a Harley guy, huh? No. I've ridden Harleys. I grew up around Harleys. You know, my dad used to ride a Sportster. Then he went to the bigger Hog, and he had back surgery, so he's been riding Goldwings ever since. The vibration on the Harleys and stuff would just kill his back. He can't do it. So, I mean, I have nothing against Harleys. You know, it just, I prefer a Yamaha or a Kawasaki over a Harley because one, they're cheaper, and two, I don't have to keep upgrading the engine, you know, just to make it go faster. But otherwise, I ain't got nothing against Harleys. I actually like them. I just can't afford them. Hey, Frogzilla, how you doing? You know, glad you can make it. I'm glad you all can make it, you know, because I'm hitting a good topic here. What you been doing at the doctor's, Froggy? Or actually, Frogzilla. I'd call you Frogzilla. I've been wanting to call you Froggy, but I don't have the permission to. So why were you at the doctor's? I hope you didn't beat somebody up because they disrespected your sporty.
Me is still up there, so just be aware the toys are going to go off again.
Yeah, I'll probably mute it for a minute. You know.
Just want you to know.
But yeah, the person decided to, park next to the guy, and so I parked my bike over there. You couldn't do it again. Got pissed off. Oh well. And then I've seen it in grocery store parking lots to where they'll crowd the bike and just, oh gee, there's all that space, and they'll crowd and try to show the spot. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Just more people coming in and
Jackson is
more visitors.
and Chihuahua
But-
over here is
I can call you Froggy.
the largest one.
That's your true nickname. Okay.
Uh,
All right. So I'll start calling you Froggy then. Now that I have your permission. I did an overhang and breathed in some bird dust and got an infection in your lungs a year ago, and they're just now taking you off the medicine. Okay. Glad you're doing better. I'm glad you're doing a lot better there, Froggy. Breathing that stuff in isn't good. It's as you can tell, it's not good for your health. Hey, process. I didn't worry. I knew you were coming. You were going to make it here eventually. I just didn't know when. Now, if you didn't show up till the end, then I would have worried. You rev bomb everything on your crotch rocket, gas station, underpasses, red lights. I hit the underpasses. I pulled that clutch in, and I hit that gas a little bit, simply because I like to hear this echo sound of my pipes. And number two, it pisses people off. So that's why I like to do that on an overpass. And I don't do it all the time, mainly because I forget to do it. But I love doing that. I've actually, last time I rev bombed was last year when I came home from picking up my bike, and I got to the front of my house, and I was going to turn in. Well, the main road that comes in front, I was coming off of Highway 10, so house is on my left. And I went to go turn in, and guy from the post office didn't even look, pulled right out in front of me. I rev bombs onto my horn. The guy just looked at me like, oh, gee, you don't exist to me. So he went, and then everybody allowed me to go into my house, into my driveway. Yeah, if I wasn't paying attention on that, I would have gotten hit, and I would have been put in the hospital, because these drivers here just don't pay attention at all. What's his my for? I mean, we got a good subject going on, a good topic. Yeah, I'm known to do that, because people will drive right by me, cut me off, and I'm sitting the pipes and this, that. I'm flipping people off, and sounding my horns, throwing an attitude that people don't want to get behind me anymore. That's why I don't have a whip, because I would actually use it, and then I'd find myself in a world of hurt, because those cars would definitely go after you. You know a process? I pull in the driveway. The wife is in her car, and I'll sit there and I'll rev bomb my bike. I'll rev up that engine, vroom, 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 and I'll look at her as I'm doing it, and then I get the ultimate left on. She looks at me and laughs. And I've talked to her about that, and I said, she goes, well, what do you want me to do? I said, when I do that, you need to look at me and go, ooh, baby, ooh. And so I did. The next time I did that, she started to do that, and I just burst out laughing because it's just hilarious. The way that me and the wife do things, right? The wives, what can you say? She did that to me one time out at Sturgis last year. We pulled in for the night, and she went and turned her bike around, and I just pulled into the spot and said, I'll just turn it around in the morning. And we parked, and I'd have my bike off. I was about to get off, and she starts rev bombing me. I'm sitting here like, ooh, baby, do it some more. And I started to show some leg, and then she quit. Yeah, the wife and I, we have fun with that. So anybody wants to come on, there's the link right there in the chat. More than welcome to come on, share your stories of why you being a motorcycle rider, or your motorcycle wasn't respected. But yeah, parking lots, they don't respect you, especially on the road. Motorcycles are not treated the equal as a car because, one, you're smaller, you're harder to see, and they just think, okay, he's only taking up a third of the lane there. We're just going to take up the other 2/3 of it and just pass him and do what we want. Who cares? He's a biker. Not a problem, Froggy. Not a problem. I understand if you could you'd come on if you could. I understand. That's cool. And people don't realize, by treating a motorcycle as if it doesn't have the same rights and courtesies as a car, they actually can hurt the rider. They can actually cause an accident, and I've almost been run into the ditch, but I've been able to stop or hit the brakes and just maneuver my way out. I've been chased down when I had my Yamaha 1100, my V-Star. I had Van Hines pipes on those, and those suckers were loud. And coming home, guy was on his phone. I rev bombed him. He dropped his phone and started to chase me. Well, being on a motorcycle, I can get around people a lot faster than he can. And By the time he caught up to me
And it works for cosplay and when
and he went to move over to run me off into the ditch, oh, there's my turn. I went to do my turn and he missed me. He didn't get me. So I was very fortunate on that, but I was also paying attention. You know, um, that one is my most enjoyable one. Um, Making someone drop their phone. I've had people come merge into the right side of me, and I ride on the left side, the fast lane, because then I could just drive straight through without pretty much slowing down or anything. On the right side, you got the ramps where people are merging in, and you guys slow down, that goes in and stuff. Whereas in the fast lane, you can just go. And so I was coming up on one over to an overpass. Road goes off. I go across the up and over, come down, and the on ramp. Someone went in, cut somebody off, went in front of them, and decided they wanted to come all the way over into my lane. And lo and behold, I'm right there. I'm right up alongside them. They want to come over. I lay on the horn. I hit the brakes, and they didn't even budge. They didn't do anything. They just kept right on going and went. And I didn't bother chasing them down because it's not worth it. You know, um, they were in a minivan, which could have totally ruined my ass. And there ain't no way I was going to do that. No.
And actually, I've taken.
You know, so you only rode 937 miles. Is that just on that bike, or is that just total for the season so far? I've put on 6,000 miles. That's mostly going back and forth from work because, you know, people up here, they just too busy to ride with you, you know.
Honey, so many things have been stopped from by Brandon. But yes, I have been trying for 5 years.
Oh, that's total in your life. That's awesome. That is totally awesome, Um, you know, and being a new person direct that, yeah, that is remarkable. I've never, I've people who knew and ride never put on, the ones I know never put on that many miles in a year so far. One guy I know put on 4,000 so far, and he just got his bike this year, but he lives in like Kansas or something like that. Slept with my last wife, and yeah, so I don't really talk to him anymore. I kind of hope his bike drops out from underneath him. You know. How many girls do I have in that kitchen? There's my wife and another fellow JC whose tent is kitty corner from ours out at the festival in the campground. She's an L tender. She's pretty nice, pretty damn good looking to look at too. I had to whisper that. But her and the wife are in the kitchen talking. I don't know about what because I'm not paying attention and I'm not sure if I want to. But just to be a fly on the wall to hear two women talking in the kitchen while I'm doing the show would be awesome. And my wife's middle son is up there too, picking up some type of a helmet for his cosplay. I don't know. I've never seen the helmet. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. And, so what? So Nitro, what street bike are you riding? Hi, Parasolo. How you doing this evening? You know, you don't say they're talking. We can't. Yeah, they're talking in there. And right now, the wife's right next, no, sitting next to me. So you're riding a 2013 Yamaha R6. Yeah, that's a crotch rocket. You know, I'm willing to bet you're going to go to a cruiser within the next year or two. They're more comfortable ride. They're just a lot better all the way around. You're not leaning over on the tank. You're not going to hurt your back. A cruiser is the best way to go. I've always liked the cruisers. I don't like the crotch rockets. You know, just a personal choice. That's all it is. I don't look down at people who do ride a crotch rocket because that's what they want to ride. That's their choice. I'll ride with you. Not a big deal. As long as you ride, that's all I care about.
Respect.
Right? And it's all about respect. You respect me, I'm going to respect you. Good. I'm glad you're doing all right. We don't want people having a bad day, or people have bad days, but it happens. But you're here in a good chat, in a good show, and people are just loving and welcoming here. So you're in good company. Yeah, see, you're about the performance and I'm about the cruise. I'm about the ride. You know, that's why I've got me a bagger. I hop on that sucker and I can just go and go. You know, that's how I am. Hey Randy, how you doing, brother? Glad you can make it in.
I am not seeing that white thread, sweetheart. I've looked this over multiple times and I don't see it.
Yeah, I had it to where it was showing. I'll try to find it.
So
Your uncle rides a Harley trike, and another friend rides an original shovelhead. Right. You know, I hear those Harley trikes are very uncomfortable. My dad was doing that for the Shriners for their trike unit, and he just said they're very uncomfortable. But that's my dad with a bad back, so I don't know how true that is. Yeah, I can almost say that's what she said, but I find more women like the guys with crotch rockets versus cruisers or touring bikes because crotch rockets go faster. I'm sorry to say that.
that might be true. Younger women.
Um, my wife likes the cruisers, because there's more to it than just the speed. There's a guy that's driving the bike. Hint, hint.
Oh, take the bone.
And the one gal that is here is now in the living room on the couch. I can't show you because I'm on the laptop. Nope. She's going to be in one of my videos sooner or later.
Probably.
Well, yeah, because when I start filming at Fest, you're going to be in one.
Videos.
Right on.
So yeah, process of Randy, if you want to come on, the link is in the chat. Talk about experiences of when your bike wasn't respected by cars or anybody else.
So I didn't realize how close you were.
you know.
Make it a low.
Um,
That's where I lived for the last 9 months.
I've seen my dad's trike get disrespected in parking spots, especially on the road, because the trike takes up the same amount of space as a car does in the road, and cars will just cut and go. They don't
Wait, that's Main Street.
treat the trike any different than a regular motorcycle,
Oh, no,
you know.
that's it.
And these people just don't
Oh, okay. So they're up off of Coon Creek.
have it in their head that we're, you know, hey, that's a motorcycle. We should do
Oh yeah.
give it the space that it deserves, you know, and they don't realize they can cause an accident, you know. But and the last one that I seen my dad get disrespected on was by another trike. One of them Can-Ams. What happened there was he went to
down the road a little ways.
um,
Down Main Street.
move up in his spot. He was on a
Where I pretty much grew up.
on a-
so I know it
on a run.
so well.
and he went to go move up in his
Absolutely love
spot,
this house, and I know
and
that
the
the
other
doctor
guy
Paul
went
is
and
representing
cut him off
me
and
that
went and took
Yeah.
that spot, which
they're
sent
nice little
my
things.
dad into the ditch, through a barbed wire fence, into a cornfield, and went through between two
Yeah.
trees
I
that the
already lived
trike
up here when we
shouldn't have
started
fit
dating,
through, but it did.
and he moved up here.
And
we moved
he,
to Alaska,
came out
and
with a
we've had
few
multiple
cuts and
chances to
scrapes.
move further south, and he
If
likes
the
it up
bike
here.
would have been just over a little bit over one way, my mom would have been hit and killed. So
I was
the guy does.
all the way down to
They won't
Shasta.
allow the guy to ride with
Majority
with
of
us
time I lived
anymore
here.
because of that. He's too much of a liability. So they just told him, nope, can't ride with us anymore. Cost my dad. It was it. What did my
Yeah,
dad
as
say?
far as
10,000
I
just to
never
get
go
the
back
trike
there.
fixed. 10,000.
You know,
So,
so
and he had just gotten it. He hadn't even had it a
Hmm.
year, and that
I
happened to
ended
him.
up talking to them soon myself.
You know,
what are your job prospects in terms of getting out of RVs or else getting a
you
license?
leave the trike
I was
and the
planning on
shovel
transferring
sitting.
when RVs up here when I move, at least temporarily.
I'm talking on a site.
That way I stay at
Okay.
decent hourly pay. Try and go full time.
So, Jamin, you would join me?
It's hard to get full time in fast food.
Uh-huh.
I'm going back to this. So you said you would join me, but you had a rough day and just
Like,
got
bad.
got in and you're
It's right here,
tired.
isn't it?
One place I grew up going all the time.
My work is still here.
You know, that's all right. That's all right. You know, I'm doing pretty good on my own here. You know, and plus, you don't come on. I'm just going to give you crap next time your shows go on.
Well, and
You know.
you got a promotion.
No, I didn't know what you did, so I didn't know. I didn't.
But yeah, that happened
well,
to
I
my
hardly
dad's
had a
trike.
chance to talk this year because I've been-
Can you hear him talk now? Because women talk and talk and
Um,
talk and talk.
and we hardly ever see each other. So yeah,
Boy, did I just get a look.
From all three of us, yes.
I don't know if
I didn't
you're
know you
aware
were a
of
girl.
this, but statistically, men talk 3 times as much as women.
Yes.
No.
I don't see it. I don't hear it.
Just
Sorry.
because you're not paying attention. There's nothing new.
Also, because there's a cultural bias that if women talk even 30
Hey Rob, how's it going, man?
dominating the country.
I'm pretty good. Just got done with dinner, man. I had
Saying that,
to pig out real quick.
Right, we
So I
did.
didn't
We
know
had
what you
pulled
do.
pork
and,
a little bit
I
ago.
never had a.
Heck yeah. I just had
So it was
just a
pretty much
bacon and
the
egg
stuff I could sport
dinner,
on,
breakfast
and
dinner.
meat from UPS,
Pretty good.
20-minute trip.
Can't go wrong with that.
And after
Nah,
that,
biscuits and gravy too, man.
basically abused and taken advantage of there.
If I don't watch out, I'm gonna be about 300 pounds again.
Doctor mandated.
Well, I'm about 30 pounds shy of that.
I'm way. Well, I don't know how far. I've gained some weight back in the last couple of weeks. Well, maybe months, couple months. I'm probably running around 260 or something
And our,
again.
our
I got to keep it low though, man. I got to keep an eye on the old weight because I don't want to get all heavy again. It
hours.
makes it terrible to put on your socks and stuff.
Right. Right now, when I get up in the morning and I'm in the bathroom, I have to sit on the toilet just to put my socks on.
Yeah, I remember those days when I was huffing and puffing, man. Just bend over to put those socks on. Yeah. No more. I ain't doing that no more. I'll stay mediocre. I think I feel better around 250, 260 anyway. When I was down, I made it all the way from 289 all the way down to 207. And as soon as I hit that, I've been eating all kinds of junk food. Going straight back up, man. Quick, dude.
I'm at 268 now, and since I've been on this Mediterranean diet, I've lost 10 pounds so far.
Wow. That Mediterranean, is that like with a lot of that, what is that spice that those guys really like a lot? That cumin and all that stuff?
Yeah, that cumin, oregano, rosemary, there's a lot of that. So
I'm kind of just an old country boy. I'm pretty used to nothing on my food but salt. Maybe pepper. I don't know.
Yeah, and I cut salt out too.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I did too. I hardly ever use the stuff. And then, I don't know, man. Lately, from sweating so much and stuff because we were really hot out here. I've been eating more salt. And one of my buddies told me a long time ago when I was doing monster truck shows, I kept getting a lot of cramps from sweating so much and stuff. And he told me, hey, just take a shot of salt and it'll probably take care of it. Man, believe it or not, I suffered for a couple years. And I remembered one day, you know what? He said salt, man. I got to try it. So I went and grabbed some salt and took a big shot real quick. And man, that took them cramps away quicker than you could believe, man.
But that's so.
And I was now ever since then, when I get a cramp, I just take a little pinch of salt, and I'm pretty good.
Well, don't drink NA beer because your legs will cramp up pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a lot of steps.
I'm supposed to stay away from salt because my blood pressure's kind of high.
Was it Sunday or Monday? Monday.
But
right?
Monday.
you know, I don't normally add salt, but
Monday night.
lately, seems like my taste buds are going or something.
Crack the shit out of it.
Hey, Lack, how you doing? How you doing tonight?
It said it was. I needed to look at it like it was dislocated or.
So,
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure. I just knew
wanted to ask you, what have you experienced of other people disrespecting you and your bike?
No, I don't have no disrespect on me or my bike. If they do, I'll pop them right in the lip.
Yeah.
I don't take no crap. Every time I pull out either one of my bikes and I just have everybody, they're all happy and they're like, oh man, that's a beautiful bike and stuff. So I don't ever really have that happen when I go around places. I could see maybe if you had some assholes somewhere that want to make fun of your stuff, but I don't know, man. My stuff's pretty cool, so I don't think anybody's gonna make much fun of it. All I hear is good stuff,
Right.
But yeah, if they did, dude, I wouldn't take it for a minute. I'm sorry to say it, but
another week.
I wouldn't.
They opened it up to drain it,
Oh.
but it healed too fast.
Yeah. Were you on when I was
So we had to have a
telling you
second
what happened to
surgery
me with that
and
Stanley steamer guy?
No, I didn't hear it, man.
in it.
Yeah,
And
it was
then
earlier
that
this week. No,
3 months. With the
I think it
pick
was last week because it
1?
wasn't
2
this
months?
week.
3 months for the pick one.
I went and picked
You know
up
what the
dog
plan
food
is?
for our foster dog, and I was cruising home on my way to get there.
It should be actually
and
more in the elbow.
I'm behind the Stanley steamer truck.
No,
Right?
It was on the inside of the arm.
Next thing you know, I mean, we're
But I
doing
got to watch
70
him
and a
put it in,
60.
which was kind of cool. And then I
And
got to feel myself starting to faint.
next thing you know, he swerves quickly to the right and go around, and I see brake lights in front of me.
It was very
And
Oh, that's bad.
I hit the brakes hard, and I know I lit them up, and then I started to go off to the left to go around
The staff
just so
were all
I
freaking out.
could clear out.
Richard had gotten
'cause
a
that's my
picture
safe
of who I
zone.
was, and he's like, "So
Mhm.
what are you gonna do?"
The car behind me almost clipped me. Luckily, he went and cut around me to the right.
Now, when Cat had the stroke,
Man, I'll tell you, man, it's really dangerous these days
and
Yeah,
out
and
there. I
that-
don't care what you're riding or driving. If you're out in traffic, you better be watching out, man.
before I
Right.
started
I've
And
almost been killed before, and I'll tell you,
travel with
I'm
cars,
really watching now.
sat down.
Really am.
And then
Well,
all of a
that
sudden,
Stanley
I
steamer
felt
guy
it
was sitting on his
myself and
phone.
realized I was the
Yeah, that's what
He had-
causes it.
He had his phone in his hand and he was flipping through it.
I remember the box.
You know,
I was not thinking
I'm one of them guys that I didn't think I would like all this, new spangled stuff and everything. And I didn't have me a good phone for years and stuff. And then once I got one, man, I'm like, I don't know how I did without it. You know what I mean? It's,
Right.
it just gotta have it. You know what I mean?
Stitches after
It's a great device to have in lots of ways because of just for the fact that you can find out anything you want. That's what I like about it. If I need to ask a question, boom, Google, man. Google's right there with it, It's pretty good.
Yeah,
In the old days, though, huh?
I'm lucky I got my headphones on because my phone hears that you say, "Hey Google," it lights up.
Oh, it's amazing. Mine didn't do that too, man. Dang it. I forget about that stuff.
So I was actually kind of
Yeah, well, you know what? It's changed my life, and I'll tell you one thing: it's for the better, I guess. I was one of them sticklers that said, "Oh man, this is just," I knew it was going to be big and all that when the cell phones come along, and all these personal computer stuff.
Does he have
But I really didn't think it would be this big, but it's went crazy, man. And myself, I like it a lot. I do. I like getting on these programs and saying hi and bullshitting and stuff, and just having a good time.
Right.
I mean, it just.
Right.
It's
I
better than
don't know,
sitting here doing nothing all night watching TV.
and I don't know what I did with
Until early in
before I got a bike with the radio and all that.
Stephanie is out.
Oh, I know, man. Some people like Hollywood says, "Oh, I hate a radio. I don't have a bike with a radio." That's all cool. But I like a radio. I've been riding all my life. And for me on a long ride, man, you can't beat a radio when you're
No.
just cruising.
It
When you're
helps keep
tired
focus,
too. Yeah. Oh, there we go. No, go ahead. There, yeah.
But Gunpowder, he says he's never experienced the stuff we have. But
Really.
yeah, he doesn't know about a few weeks ago. Some guy in a white minivan decided to pull out in front of me at a stoplight, less than 5 miles from home. And the
That's
guy-
where it usually is.
right.
Close to home.
And he saw me. I know he saw me because when he pulled out in front of me, he hugged his shoulder, and I went by him, and I stopped at the light, and I turned around, and I did all this to him, and I started yelling. He never came more within 5 car lengths of me.
Well, yeah, man. I've been run over and run off the road and everything, and I'll tell you, it's no fun. In '86, me and my partner, I was giving him a hike home, and we had just cleaned my bike and shined it all up. We spent about 4 or 5 hours on it, and I got about 3 miles from home, and boom, car run me off the road. Fatal accident for my buddy, and it was almost fatal for me.
Right.
So it wasn't, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It was I controlled the bike just fine and all. It's just that I could not save at the end of it was sliding through the divider because they shot me over into the divider, and it was all sand and gravel, and I just slid like it was glass. You know how bikes are, man.
Oh yeah.
You can't stop, man. Not quick anyway. And I went sliding for a couple of 100 feet, and I slid off one end of the curb and hit another curb, and it shot me straight up in the air, bucked the back of the bike up, and the bike and my buddy hit a light pole, and I went flying. All I know is I was doing somersaults and in midair. And when I hit the ground, I almost landed perfectly on my feet, but it landed basically on my back and on my broken leg that car. I had stuck my foot out trying to push myself away from that car, and it smashed my leg and ankle right up against the peg and almost tore my foot off. And so I was trying to walk over to my buddy with a foot that was hanging and bleeding profusely, and I got the bike off of him, and it was just partially on his legs basically, but he had been in some bike wreck just a while, maybe 4 years earlier, and had all his ribs wired up because they were broke. And when that happened, this other jar, it just took them all out. So he passed away, and that, I thought for about 10 years I wouldn't ride, and so I just started riding dirt bike because I always liked dirt bike. So I just stayed off road for about 10 years, and I said, you know what, I just can't. I mean, that's long enough, really, to mourn, and I got back on bikes, man. I love riding, but
Now we retracted.
now I have a big respect for them, a lot more than I did in the old days, because I got to watch everybody now, and I don't trust anybody in a car at all around me.
No,
Scott County.
well, motorcycles have been in my dad's family for years, and my grandpa on my dad's side never got to meet him because he passed away when my dad was 11, 12, somewhere in there. The oldest brother, there's 4 of them. He came home on a motorcycle, and Grandpa jumped on it and went to go riding and went underneath a fence, and they went to go check on him, and there was a hole in his chest.
Oh God. That happened to me too. I've slid out on a corner on gravel and hit the fence along the freeway, one of those things, like hog wire. And all I did was I was able to control. I'm a good bike rider, man. I ride dirt bikes, so I'm ready for just about anything. And I slid right into that thing, hiking up my ex, and we bounced like it was a soft little cushion and didn't even fall over, man. Saved it. So that was kind of a good thing.
Frustrating.
Bunch of years ago, though. I've been through some heavy stuff, man. It's amazing I'm still in one piece, basically.
Right.
Although my back don't feel like it. But everything else is still here.
Well, the stuff I've seen on the back of my dad's bike when growing up, cars you want to get over, and cars won't let you in. They come zooming right up and cut you off,
Yeah. The worst thing I think I hate is when they're riding right on my ass. When I look back through the mirrors or look back and I see a car right there, man, it's like, hey, man, give me a little buffer zone here. You know what I mean? And it'll piss me off quick.
They are so.
Not much you can do. You get them mad, they might ram you off the road. I don't want that either. But I'll give them the old middle finger now and then.
When I click,
they back off then.
Guy from work did that to me the other day when I was coming in. I went to make the final turn to go down the hill to the plant, and he was right there behind me. So I pulled over to let him go by, and then he stopped right behind me.
They do that, man. It's the weirdest stuff I ever seen. They were doing that here. I pull over all the time when they're right on my ass, and I'll like give them hard looks when they go by and stuff. That's if they go by. These Mexican folks over here, they don't like to. I mean, they won't go by you hardly. Even if you're going real slow, they'll just ride your ass and just keep riding, man.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm about done with this shitty state, man. I love California. I was born here, but it's turned into hell, man. It's with all these immigrants, it's just turning this state into a junkyard. Did you happen to get online and see the there was a big old, I took a picture and put it on general,
Okay.
and there was a big old pile of garbage, junk, and I mean just old TVs, all kinds of stuff. And they had put a big old cardboard up saying
Justin, his-
Biden caused this. You know what I mean? So,
I did see that.
did
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah.
Man. And I found another one down the road a little farther. It was a mattress that's tipped up.
I'm putting two-
And what did that one say?
I did it.
Biden's, oh God, I can't remember. But, oh man, somebody around my area is really hard on his ass. I ain't happy with him either. He can get on down the road anytime. But,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We got to get on process a little bit. He said he sold his bike for a walker.
hey, I'm coming up next. I already got me a walker. Matter of fact, my brother-in-law went and got me a brand new one of them old man walkers with the brakes and stuff.
No.
Well,
I
I've
told
got,
him I don't think I'm ready for that, but I'll take it anyway, just in case.
I've got a couple canes.
I've got a cane too.
So yeah, but anyway.
My back's so shot I have to. Well, I don't use it that often, but
Yeah.
now and then I have to use it
Dorothy,
when I walk too much, or if I figure I'm going to walk, like at the fair or something like that.
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well, Froggy says he knows a guy who took a hummingbird bill to the chest.
and
Ooh.
she's like,
That had to hurt.
and so I reached out to her.
I've had a few bee stings to the chest, but nothing like that.
Well, my mom had one years ago when they rode out to the Devil's Tower, and she put her hand in her back pocket, and there was a bee there.
Oh yeah.
Stung her.
And I just happen to be allergic to them too. So, I'll be going around a corner on my bike and it'll fly right in, because I'm always riding in tank top, and it'll fly right in there and get me, man. And I'll have to reach over and pinch it and, kill it. But next thing I know, I've got like big old lump.
She hasn't been
Even a little old bee get me, tears me up.
pulled at the end of 2019.
So when we all get done and retire, we're gonna move over. We're all gonna move over to the process on his.
Yeah,
retirement.
let's go, man. We're gonna have us a hell of a time over there barbecuing and having big old bonfires and stuff all the time.
I don't think there'll
And
be a
shooting
day.
all our guns. We
I
got
don't-
plenty of guns to shoot. That's for sure.
I don't think there'll be a day that we'll be sober or high.
That's it.
You know.
You know it, man. It'll be an
Yeah.
all-time party, man. When in the 80s, 70s and 80s, all we did was party, man. We worked, but I mean, weekends, it was party on. I mean, we'd go to work Monday feeling so bad. We couldn't hardly work. It was terrible, but we had a good time.
Right. And SSW just popped in.
Right on, man. Hey, SSW. Good to see you, man. Come on in here and say hi.
Yeah, come on in, SSW. I'll get that link posted for you.
I mean, I can be sympathetic to their emotional hurt and still go, but you kind of didn't. I
Ooh.
used to like.
Oh.
She treats her children and everybody else.
And Nitro
Oh, yeah.
says he's got moonshine.
Right on.
Well,
I
why
like
isn't he over
moonshine.
here?
I can drink some moonshine too, man. I've drank plenty of that. No, 100 ain't nothing. I'm drinking 200% mothers, they call it. And that's at the distillery where they make the whiskey and they have to cut it down. And the alcohol, it's pure alcohol, basically.
I'm talking about the legal.
No, legal whiskey. Yeah, that stuff's water, man.
I've never had moonshine, but I'm willing.
She agreed. Another side.
Yeah, man, moonshine. I've drank that a few times. We had some, shut up, please. I can't hear myself think. Anyway, yeah, we got some apple pie, and that was pretty good stuff. My buddies make that, and they distill it themselves.
Make me go the other way.
And then I got another buddy that makes beer. So man, we get a kegger. He makes keg beer. So we get free kegs and
Nice.
we get free whiskey sometimes whenever we go up to the hills and visit those guys. They're kind of off the grid out there. And I don't mean they're moonshiners or nothing, but they just make it for personal use, you know.
Right.
And they do a good job. Nobody's went blind and no one died yet.
Right? And you can do that here in Minnesota and make moonshine in your own liquor. You just got to have it for your own personal use.
Yep, here too. You can make up to, I'm not sure, 5 gallons or something a day or something. I don't know. You can't sell any though.
5 gallons a day, and if there's 2 adults, you can make up to like,
so 6 people per day.
I want to say 1,000 gallons for a year.
Hmm.
Because if you're a home brewer and it's just you, I think you can do up to 500.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys that I know, they're kind of small brewing guys, but even the beer dude, he does make keggers, but he has a small brewery. And it takes him a little while to make 2 or 3 kegs, but he does it. And I don't know, man, he's into that lager stuff and that ale. And I'm not big on that.
No,
I just like regular old Budweiser Light.
I'm more into the
Because I don't really have any reason to be there. So just all
the amber ales and the more darker ales,
Yeah.
like Killian's and stuff like that.
Mm,
Even Budweiser's a lager.
yeah. You know, it's the only reason I like it is because I've always drank whiskey my whole life. And I slowly started to move over to beer because it's burning a hole in my gut and has for years. And I've got an ulcer. So I figured, oh, you know what? Even though I hate beer, I'll go ahead and start drinking it and see if it's better for me. Well, I don't get the belly aches and stuff, and I don't really like beer, the flavor, but I found that all the beer that I've tried, probably the Bud Light is the best for me. It has the best. It basically don't have much of a flavor at all, and that's basically how I like it. But I drink beer and whiskey at the same time. I mix them, you know. So
Yeah,
always.
the beer I drink has a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
You know, I've had a few of those, and they're all right, but I just like barely any flavor on the stuff I got. And then you can give me some Jack Daniels, and we'll be real happy after that. Give me a couple swigs of that.
Well, there's a beer for you.
Miller High
Geico
Life.
doesn't have any taste buds. He drinks Miller High Life.
Yeah. Well, we used to drink Miller in the old days, man. I'm talking the 70s. We had even Coors, man. You know, that's a joke and a half right there. That banquet beer stuff. That's real water right there. We used to drink Lucky Lager beer. Those were like $5 a case in the old days.
Heck, I used to drink Hams.
Yeah, Ham, Slits, and then they went to the Slits Malt Liquor Bull.
Yeah.
Old English 800. Then I started drinking Mad Dog 2020. After that, man, let me tell you, I had a little Triumph Spitfire that was all beefed up and had a header exhaust and dual carburetors and all that. And that little sucker, man, when I almost flipped that sucker in the mountains, that was the last time I drank that Mad Dog. Because I'll tell you, it'll really make you mad, dog. I never was so crazy in my life till I started drinking that stuff.
Damn.
Yeah. If you ain't had Mad Dog, boy, you're probably better off.
I'll stay away from that.
Yeah. Southern Comfort too, man. We used to drink a lot of that. And I don't know if you ever heard about it, but have you ever heard of Ripple?
Yep.
Yeah, man. I don't know if they even sell that anymore, but that was a big thing in the 60s and 70s. I remember all the bikers used to stand around the fire and they'd pass that Ripple bottle around. And they was just, you know, everybody get a hit of it.
Damn.
And whiskey and things too. But
I
That was a big
remember-
thing, the Ripple.
It's $250.
I remember going to Metallica
On the
back
high
when
end.
they toured with Guns N'
They're
Roses,
in good shape.
and if you're on that
That's
on the
awesome.
main floor,
No, I said I wasn't
They
surprised you
had
found Ann McCaffrey at the-
4 or 5
because I knew
flasks,
what a
big
what a
flasks
popular
floating
author
around,
he was.
full of Southern
So I'm
Comfort,
sure
and
they
all
would
you heard was
stop
take a hit and
there
pass it down.
from time to time.
And then
Yeah.
the joint would come right after that.
Yeah, I've been to a bunch of concerts. When they have concerts out here, that's all you see is just smoke. The second you walk in the place and you have to walk down, it's
Yep.
just a cloud. And that's all you smell. Although I was doing a monster truck show in San Bernardino one time, and Snoop Dogg came, and right next to where we were doing the show, they had the arena over there,
They had all these singles
for bands and things, and they had Snoop over there. Man, I'll tell you, I never smelled so much good stuff, man, just reeking all the way across the whole parking lot and everything. I was like, man, I wished I was over there. I even after the show, I went over there just to see if I could hook up a doobie somewhere. That was smelling good, man. I had my own stuff, but
And if you're
I
around,
ain't against getting something out.
right, if you're around Snoop Dogg, he'll get you high.
Oh, I figured that, man, for sure. I didn't know if I'd ever get to see him, but I figured some of them guys coming out of there might, I knew they had some because they was all smelling pretty, reeking pretty good.
Yeah, I don't like Snoop Dogg because I don't like rap.
Yeah, I don't either, but I like the smell that was over there, so I went over.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
you know it. I ain't into that though, the rap and stuff, nah.
No, I'm into rock and roll. I just watched the
Yeah.
If
I
I
do
Leave
country too
Tomorrow.
a little bit.
Yeah, I just watched if I Leave Tomorrow, which is the documentary for Skinner.
Right. Yeah. I've been watching some clips on him. They're still finding parts of that plane out there where he wrecked, where they had that plane wreck back in the 70s,
Yeah,
80s, whenever it was.
in the documentary, they walked out to the site and they said if you just start digging, poking around, you'll pull up parts of the plane.
Exactly. I think I seen that.
The guy pulls up a part of the plane.
Yeah, that's the same one I seen. Yeah. It's weird because that's been a lot of years ago, and you would have thought that I guess the people who collect all the plane parts or whatever, so they can reconstruct the accident and all that.
Right.
Should have got all those, and that's like, BD was talking about, when those guys all got hit by that guy in his truck, hit them head on the bikes. I could not believe there was body parts laying all over the place that they didn't pick up. I understand it was dark when it happened, right before dark or something, and then it got dark and you couldn't see. But out here, man, they'll bring big old lights and they'll light up the whole area.
Well,
You
they
know.
even said that they went back in the morning and finished cleaning it up. So it makes me wonder.
No, that was only after Black Dragon called them up and said, hey, there's parts still out here, man. And then they actually came back and started cleaning up some more stuff.
I thought he said that when he called them up, they said they went back in the morning.
Yeah, they did. That's what I heard too. But yeah, he called them and said, hey, you guys left parts, man. Those are all, you know what? That is unheard of. And that is not professional. And them doing that was just, oh man, I'd fired every one of those people because I believe that they should have got every little piece of a person. I mean, if you're in a bike wreck, you expect, your family at least expects that all your parts are going to get picked up, I would hope, and they found ears and pieces of backbone and things like that. It's very, it's terrible.
It was.
Oh, Frogzilla
You
said,
should smell my backyard. You should smell my backyard. I got 4 dogs, man. Woo.
yeah,
Terrible.
we've got 6 in the house right now.
Oh my God. I got 3 in the house and 1 out back, but
I have.
they're all trained to go outdoors. But man, they got the front yard really reeking right now. I'm gonna have to, now that we're over with the hot spell, I believe, I'm gonna be out there cleaning up a lot of dog poop.
Before you start, you can get it wet
No,
and have
I
it
don't
like
clean
one-
it up. I just let it lay and it makes good fertilizer.
Oh, no.
Well,
the dogs
when you come in my doorway,
was trying to
the
vacuum
smell you
and
get,
to make yarn barf out of
it
one of
needs
my
to be cleaned up here.
friends.
You gotta walk right by it, man, and I got it piled up
Yeah.
in the front yard. I've got fences around everything, like the backyard's fence, the front yard, and then there's a walkway you can walk through. So the walkway smells, and I'm like, oh man, I've been washing it and all this, and I'm about to put some bleach in it or do something.
They just
Right.
destroy-
Terrible.
Well, I like to pick up the poop or just
my
leave it
yarn.
laid
He
because
felt
then
so
the
bad, and I was just like,
moles
you know what?
won't dig in my
Don't
yard.
even worry about it 'cause they didn't actually chew.
Well,
So-
you know what?
So you can ask.
Maybe. I don't know if that works or not, because I tell you, they've been getting me, those dang, we call them gophers out here. And them suckers are just everywhere out here on this ranch where I'm at. And we're legal to grow out here and stuff. And I had some plants last year and they about wiped me out. So
Several racks.
I'm pretty much done with that. Them moles got to go somehow. I'm one of my friends said he's got one of those deals you can poke in the hole, shoot some gas down there, and boom, blow them up. That's probably the only way to get rid of them. Or I've tried trapping them and stuff. I just can't get them. They're smarter than that.
Not
I
know
like to
about
put
this.
gum down the hole.
No, you don't know.
I've heard of that one.
They'll chew it up and it plugs them up.
Hmm I've heard of that one. I don't really chew gum, but
The same
yeah,
thing.
I would try it though. I'd chew up a bunch of gum and try it.
No, you don't have
Just
to
to get
chew it
rid of
up. Just open the sticks
Oh,
up
just
and
put it
stick
down the
up.
hole. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And they'll
Yeah,
eat it
maybe
up,
I'll try that
you know.
next year.
And
You're
I
right.
sent it to her, and I looked.
They,
up
they're
and
staying
down,
out of
and I
my
said,
yard,
"Okay,
so
of these yarns, which
and then I'm
one
going
Well-
after the dogs
And
for
she
digging
said the
holes
pink,
in
and I
my
said,
yard
"I
to
got
go
it
after.
from you."
I got that too, man. I got a big old horse, German Shepherd in the backyard. He weighs about 150. And he's a hole digging man. He loves to dig a big old hole and sleep in that thing,
Oh,
And I mean a deep hole. It's like half my size, Yeah,
Damn.
he's got dug around the back over here, and I guess as long as he's happy with it,
my mom taught me
keeps him
both.
out of the rain because he's right under the house just a little bit.
I was-
Our closets, they kind of pop out, or they're already. I mean, they're not popped out, but
so
they're
I
kind of
was thinking,
extended out from the house, like just and so he's got his little hole right up under there. He's pretty happy with it.
he decided
Well,
he wanted
We
it.
gotta give Process some more crap because he said he sold his dog for dope and he got away. I hope you got a couple ounces for your dog.
To find out
I mean,
Right.
Skill.
Oh, that sucks.
Sell
Sold
the
your
dog
dog
and
for
gets a
dope.
roach. Damn. I
Right.
hope it
I hope
was
you got a
the
good-
roach too, and not the one that crawls away.
Oh man, I don't think I could trade mine for dope. I love them too much.
No, mine would come back and bite me in the ass.
Yeah, they definitely freak out because they love me too. They got to be right under my feet all the time.
Well, Nitro says his husky eats socks. I've got a mini Aussie that likes to eat my socks.
We
I
got
thought
a baby girl here that she likes to tear up everything she can get in her mouth, but she's still teething right now. So
Yeah, it's the same with his Aussie. He's chewing everything up he can get his hands on.
He's a Griffin pup.
yeah, well, we're trying to get her through that, and even make things worse. It's it's her time of the season. So, oh my God, it's been hectic around here trying to keep the mail away from her.
Common.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I
Yeah,
Kids relate.
and to keep the house clean because I mean, oh boy, it's terrible. My aunt used to put diapers on them and stuff, but I don't think these dogs would let us because they would tear them right off. You know,
And since I
their
was-
dogs didn't mind it, but these crazy dogs here, man, you can't do nothing without them tearing it up.
Well, hell, maybe your dogs and my dogs should get together sometime and have a grand old party.
Yeah, I got a big old yard out here for them to run around in.
Well, that makes sense.
Like that.
So I've got all small dogs.
What are their houses?
Oh, really?
Oh,
I've
Yeah.
got two.
because that's just a-
Let's see. They're not mine. I'm babysitting some of them, but the big German Shepherd in the backyard's mine. But these three in here that I'm their uncle, and
And cats. is little.
they think they're mine, but really their dad. He's in the Philippines, and he's supposed to come back and take them back with him. So I'll kind of miss them, but man, what a pain in the ass for the last 6 months, man. Taking care of all these dogs and stuff. And the dog food, not to mention the dog food.
Right.
I got some hungry dogs out here. They eat up 50 pounds in 2 weeks. So
Damn.
yeah, I feed them pretty good. They've gained some weight since he left.
Well, they're not small dogs either.
Nah, the Queensland Heeler, female and male, they're medium or something. But I got one pit bull here, and then the big dog in the back, German
Okay.
Shepherd. He eats a lot, but I mean, I don't mind my dogs eating.
Really
Although everybody I know, to me, they underfeed them, like, because, I know the box or the bag or whatever says you can give them a 1 cup of dog food. I mean, sheesh, my dogs had starved to death on 1 cup of dog food a day. I give them a whole bowl and keep it full all the time. They just eat whatever they want when they want it.
Well, there's basically saying 1 cup per meal. Serve them twice a day, so basically 2 cups a day.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm spoiling them, I guess. But I eat big, and I just I figure they like to eat too.
Right.
Although they're putting a hurt to my wallet, man. I've done spent about $300 in 6 months on dog food.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I know.
We're lucky if we spend $30 in 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, them little dogs are probably all right. Feeding them. These dogs, they're all hogs. They like to eat. The pit bull, she's always in there eating every day, like twice, 3 times a day. Evening, morning, night.
Well, ours act
Tries
like
to keep the other dogs away.
ours act like they don't get fed at all.
I know. And if you eat something around them, they're on you, man, because they want it.
Right.
I always give them little treats. As a matter of fact, give them one of their bones right now.
Well, our newest one is a mini Aussie, and we call him Chips.
Give these guys their bones before it gets dark here.
His name is Chibs. We named him after Chibs and Sons of Anarchy because he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I know
You know-
it's a show, and I know it makes us look bad, but
Yeah.
I just know it's a show and it's for drama, so I love it.
Well, let me tell you one thing, man. People don't know this. A lot of people don't know this, but the HAs basically were behind that show, and they made that show. And
Oh yeah.
Chuck Zito, which is a friend of mine, he wrote the show, and he also wrote Oz, the show Oz, and he
Yeah.
also played in both shows.
I mean, it's just.
And yeah, it's about as real as you can get in a lot of ways, and everybody wants to make fun of it, but there's a lot of truth to that stuff, at least from what I've seen over the years. Not everything is truthful, and not everything is real, but on the show, but there's a bunch of it that's pretty real. If you've seen the one where they took their patches and all that
Yeah.
and threw them on the ground, Yeah, those guys that were right there, those guys that told them, hey, you guys pick who's going to be the next club.
I've got
And then you guys can combine up into one club because we're not going to have 3 shithead clubs. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it used to be
that was an HA. If you noticed, he had one of these on, red and
Yep.
white.
And the same guy who did Sons, he wrote Mayans.
I like the Mayan one. I mean,
Oh, I love the
Um,
Mayans.
yeah, that the Mayan. I didn't get to see a bunch of those because I think they only made a few of them, or either they're on HBO and I quit getting cable a while back when I moved
They're
over
on,
here.
they're on Hulu right now.
Are they?
Mayans.
Yeah, I seen a few of theirs, and they seem like pretty good deal.
Very, very.
I personally, I would actually like to just say for those guys that made those movies, you know, good job. If you go and you see all those guys that are on the Sons of Anarchy, and if you've ever seen any of their little interviews and things like that,
Yep.
you know, most of those guys come from a little bit of riding background. Some of them never rode. The main dude, Jax, he don't even know how to ride a bike. He's an Aussie or an Englishman or something like that.
Yep.
He didn't even know how to ride a bike. I mean,
Absolutely.
the one I really liked was the last episode where he wrecked into that head on with that diesel truck.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Right
Yeah.
there.
I love that episode because he was tying up loose ends.
You're right. He
And he
sure
was
was.
He was the final one.
Yeah.
That's that. But
Yeah. I thought it was kind of dead that the mother got killed too. I mean, that was,
Well, he never should have killed Tara.
yeah, I know.
that one.
But Frogzilla says he's never seen either one.
Really?
I say he should watch them. And
Yeah, man, they're
So-
cool. They're not all real, but there's a bunch of realness to them.
the one thing I didn't like about the Mayans, I loved it how it started out nice and mellow, calm, and it started to explain the club life a little bit better with a lot less blood. But now, season 4 going into season 5, that's all it is people killing people, a lot of bloodshed, and that's not what those gangs are. I mean, not the gangs, clubs.
Clubs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, man. You know what? They're showing stuff that really happened back in the 60s and 70s. That
Yeah.
stuff happened. It really did. But the thing was, it was way back then. These days, there's still shootouts. You heard about the one in Vegas with the Vargos and
oh yeah,
stuff. And
I
yeah, man,
watched it.
you know, there's still little shootouts here and there. But something must have been really bad for them to do it because it's not like they do it every day, you know,
Right.
like they were showing on the shows. And I think the Mayans, they started by talking on Sons of Anarchy. They showed up on there, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Their first episode or something. Yeah, and
They
they
were the rivals
Mayans?
to the rivals to the Suns.
right.
Then you had
Yep.
so those are the two biker clubs. You know, I hear gang all the time from the other news organizations, so it enters my head. But
I
then
never
you
call
had
them
the-
that. I've got too many friends. If I happen to slip in the clubhouse or something and say, "Hey, look at this gang," you know, I'd never hear the end of it.
Right.
We're not gangs. They're really bad about that, man. I don't ever say that word, not
No,
in public.
I say clubs. 'Cause that's
Yeah,
what
there
they
you
are.
go. Yeah. Well, you know what? Things happen, man, and not everybody's as squeaky clean as everybody else thinks they should be, but they do what they got to do, man, you know, to survive and to keep, you know, a little bit of territory and things. So
Right. And the territory.
I'm not in the club just for that reason. I've been shot 2 times and don't want it anymore. So
I've been
don't need it.
fortunate. I haven't been shot at all.
I've been in knife fights and I've got some scars and a few things, but you know, them are younger days and I got some stories I could tell you, man, but I don't think they're fitting for this.
Well, maybe it wakes some people up,
Yeah, man, I'll tell you. I had a knife fight one time. This guy come up and stabbed me in the ass. And I fought him to the ground, and I took his knife and I stuffed it up where the sun don't shine.
Ooh.
And I seen him about a week later, and he was still walking funny. Oh,
Wow,
man, I could have.
that makes me want to not get up.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, it messed him up. But you know what? Hey, that freaking hurt, man. He buried the blade into my cheek. And I had a brand new pair of Levi's on, and I was pissed.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
those suckers aren't cheap either.
Nah, I think I paid like $40 in them days for them.
Yeah, those
And I was
suckers
like,
aren't-
that's it, you mother. I'm going to kick your ass. And I threw him on the ground and took that knife away from him. And I'll tell you, I buried that thing.
Damn.
I feel bad now because the poor guy's dead. And we did get drunk a lot here and there together. And he was one of them guys that couldn't handle his liquor. And I kind of, as long as I didn't get stabbed or nothing, I kind of overlooked things. But man, that dude got me, and that was it, man. I just,
Chris.
it ain't going to happen. So, and I had a couple others. I've been straight razored right across the arm, and I took duct tape and taped it back, which worked pretty good, to tell you the truth.
Damn.
They wouldn't give up the bed to the point where
Gee,
It was a clean cut. With a straight razor, just a perfect clean cut. And I stuck it right on there, and it swelled up and stuff, but I can barely notice it now. That was a bunch of years ago, so I don't know. Everything gets better with time, I guess.
Gee, I lived a sheltered life.
It's been pretty rough out here in Fresno, man. I don't know if you hear about us out there, but Jesus Christ, it's really crazy in this freaking town.
No, we deal with our own stuff out here. Like a clubhouse people being kicked out of their clubhouse.
Oh, yeah, we ain't had that problem that I
was
know of
fun
from any
for
club.
me.
You know what? Out here, everybody's pretty cool with the clubs, and that's there's clubs everywhere. We have so many different clubs. It's not even funny. And everybody's pretty cool with them, like the people renting the places and all that. They don't really discriminate too much. Probably because they're getting double for the place or something. Who knows? But yeah, they do pretty good out here because we have so many clubs. Nobody's really tripping on anybody. And even the cops, I've been profiled since I was a kid. And I've been pulled over and took pictures of every little thing on my body, just, moles and everything, and my tattoos and this and that. And, now it just seems like every time a cop looks at me, man, I just look him right in the eyes, man. Like, you know what? Go ahead, Mother Hubbard. Go ahead and pull me over. I don't care. But they mostly don't.
Well,
Sometimes they're not as bad as they used to.
I just passed one the other morning doing 75, 80 in a 60. And
I'm always doing that. They
He
just let
was-
you go?
yeah, I mean, he was doing speed limit, and I just flew right past him. He just let me go. Didn't
Well,
even
that's
bother to
same
pull
here.
over.
I was doing 90. I always ride about 80, 90. And every time the sheriffs usually see me, they usually kind of give me a look, but they just keep on going. I haven't been getting messed with lately, so that's pretty good.
Oh, well, I'm packing too.
Yeah, I am too sometimes.
I don't know who's gonna try to mess with me or anything, and I feel
Yeah.
it's better to be safe to have it.
Yeah, I got a bunch of different pistols, but I got one little old Derringer I like to carry. It's a big bore, and it'll do the job.
Right.
I got my 45, I guess, 1911 A1 with a 15 round clip in it. So, I mean, you really, Then I got my AK-47 if you really want to. Then I got tons more, but I ain't gonna say what they are because some of it's kind of military.
Well,
So,
when we move in with the process at his ranch, I'll know.
Oh yeah, you will. Oh yeah.
And well, Froggy says he was stabbed in the lung and the liver.
Wow, man. Jesus, I never been jabbed like in the guts. I just been sliced. You know what I mean? Well, I got stabbed by my girlfriend over here a while back. It was for fun, but it kind of hurt because it was a real sharp knife. She was just playing, but it went in. I was like, damn. Hey, man, easy.
Yeah, you don't
She's one of
heal
them.
like you used to.
Yeah, man, especially with diabetes and stuff, man. With the diabetes, I gotta, like, you get scab, it stays on for months.
Yeah,
Used to, I just heal right up.
I've got bug bites on my feet that aren't healing up.
Yeah. Oh,
You know.
was that Renaissance fair? Was it full of mosquitoes or what?
Oh, right at the tent, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
And if they get inside and you don't know it,
Yeah,
you sleep with
and you'll be
your
tore
socks
up.
off, they go for you.
You're the only guy I ever seen with bunk beds in a tent. That
Well-
sucker looked like a home, man. You had everything you needed in that thing, man. I was like,
Well,
damn.
we got the bunk beds, and then our other roommate's got a queen size bed in there.
Oh my God.
So
I
that-
got a queen I throw in mine too, but it's just one of them double air up mattresses. It's not a whole bed and stuff.
that takes up half of the tent. On the other half, we've got our chairs. We got a little table.
Yeah,
Our
man.
roommate's got all her stuff to make herself look pretty. You know,
It would look
and
like
if
a hell of a deal, man. Like you had your little palace there in the middle of the wet dirt and swampy grass.
right? And if
Kept
we
you
could,
off the
we'd have a
grass.
refrigerator.
Yeah, and a fridge. I was waiting for the microwave and everything.
Well, as soon as we can find a way to jimmy some power in there, it's coming.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that one time at the lake. I was camping and we were at the campgrounds, and the bathrooms always have a little plug there so you can shave,
Yep.
you know, and stuff. I ran a extension cord over there to my tent and started using their power, man. I had it for about 4 hours and somebody snitched me off, and the ranger come over. Hey, you can't do that. Oh, I didn't know, you know.
I would have looked at him and said, "Guess what I just did?"
Yeah. We had a generator, but we didn't, the RV, we didn't want to, you know, wake up everybody in the whole campground.
Right.
But yeah, they got on me for that. I was like, well, you know, hey, can't blame a guy for trying, man. We just wanted to watch some TV and stuff. And we didn't want to run the generator.
And like it's a UV, I'll just make it.
All right. We'll see you later, Froggy. He's got a bounce.
See you, Frogzilla. You jamming?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
He's probably got to hit the bed. I think he's Eastern time, if I'm correct.
Get a good look at him.
I know he lives in the South.
It's only about 6:35 here.
Yeah, and I'm 8:35 here.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sure that's.
Oh, yeah, a couple hours. Yeah. And he's all the way over there, so he's got 3 hour difference.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost 10 for him.
So I wanna.
You know,
I wanna.
and I'm gonna have to think about taking a shower here and going to bed here
So
shortly.
that I can.
Yeah, me too. I've had a hard day today. Running around doing all kinds of stuff in this nice, cool weather we finally got.
Yeah.
Very
then-
happy.
Then you can come out to our Renaissance Festival and sling some beer.
Yeah, boy. Hey, it looked like fun. I'm waiting for us. We got we have a Civil War reenactment that comes here, and they do that every year. That's pretty cool to watch. And they let you interact with all the actors and everything, which is cool.
Right.
And right now we're having they're having a what do they call that? Where they where they throw all them Scottish like
Oh,
weights and all that stuff.
the Highland Games.
Yeah, they're doing that right now here, doing the Highland Games. They just advertised it for this weekend, so that'd be nice to go. If I get a chance, I'd like to go there and take some film and put it online.
Yeah, they should be doing ours here pretty quick.
Mhm.
Our Highland Games.
I'm thinking about for my channel. I'll go ahead and if they have that reenactment of the Civil War, definitely it's only $10. I'll go there for sure.
That was last
The
There you
Highland
go.
Game thing, I'd like to go check. Wouldn't hurt, but I don't know. I've got a bunch of stuff going on around here, so I'm kind of stuck for a
Yeah,
couple
but
more
don't
days.
forget to have some fun for yourself.
Yeah, the weekends here, man. I got to do something. I've been babysitting this place for all this time for 6 months, and I'm dying to take off to the coast for a day or at least a day. And that's another one I'll be taping.
There you go.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out some good stuff. Did you ever get to see Ritz's stuff last night?
No,
He did. No, man, he did a good job, man. Took him about a couple months to get everything situated and stuff, and he did a hard bag. He added some hard bags or a trunk or something to his bike, and so he was showing
Okay.
how to put all the brackets and all that stuff. He did a really good job. I was happy for him, man. He did good, and he's been kind of nervous, a little bit, I believe, and that's might be why he didn't really put one out right away. They were they were joking with me. Oh, even Randy put out one before I did. I was laughing. It's like, well, I don't really care. I just put out anything I can put out. And if you
Right.
like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
that's what I do.
Yep.
know. And that says
Yeah, I
Tommy's
was-
taking off.
Fried chicken out and sushi. Gasoline.
Gasoline don't go good with sushi and chicken.
Right. Last time I had sushi, man, that didn't work out too good for me.
Oh,
I kind of stay away from it these days. Hard on my gut. I think I got a little bit of Manila or something like that. Whatever they give you,
well,
fish from fish.
I was gonna say, don't eat sushi because that's disrespecting your bite.
Yeah, boy. Japanese, eh?
Yeah, you don't know what the hell is gonna come out your ass when you're riding. It's just as bad as Taco Bell.
Hey, one time I was out at a club and a bunch of my friends, we were all in there partying and stuff. And I happened to show up because I had just bought me a Honda Goldwing because I got a hell of a deal on it. And I was just going to sell it, and make some money. And so I bought that thing and I rode it up to the clubhouse. Me and my brother-in-law, we both had them. And we figured since we just get them and we'll ride around on them, try them out. Anyway, we did that. And we come back out there to our bikes after they were getting ready to close up and everything. And there was piles of rice right under the exhaust pipe. It was funny, man. And all the guys come out and they was laughing. And I was like, you rotten suckers. That's all right, though. I always had a chopper all my life since I was a young kid. So it's just fun. I've had every kind of bike you can think of. Dirt bikes and street bikes of all kinds.
Well, I wouldn't mind a chopper myself. I think those are fun.
Oh, dude. I would never, I would actually, if my back was in a little better shape, I wouldn't even have this big cruiser I got. I love my chopper. I love riding it. It don't like me too much because it's hard on my back, but I get all these young women all loving it and wanting to take pictures and stuff. It's
Right?
pretty fun. Yeah. Nudies and things. I'm like, wow. I even get some people that take pictures and they wanted to. My bike's a show bike and it's got a lot of money in it. All Arlen Ness stuff. And big old rims and everything, all aluminum. But it's got 100 cubic inch. Everything on it's super light. So the bike's like it don't weigh anything. And with the big motor in it, man, I've outran crotch rockets with this bike, and they couldn't believe it. And I've raced this bike with other choppers at a couple of rallies we have here when we do some burnout contests and some, you know, things like that. And we had chopper races, and me and my brother-in-law started them, and I won, so I was feeling pretty good. And my brother-in-law was so pissed. He never raced me again after that. But he went and spent a bunch of money on his, so I don't know anymore. After that, he dumped a big old pile in there.
Yeah. But the more money you spend, the more you don't want to ride it because you want to keep it looking nice.
Right.
You know,
I went and looked at it. It's been stored in the garage back here. And my buddy had his truck pulled up in there for 6 months, and I hadn't been able to go out there and check it out. And basically all blocked in and everything. And I took, and me and his son pulled the truck out of there. The battery was dead because it's been sitting so long. And I took a good look at it. It looked pretty good still. I'm glad that no rats or nothing's got in there. My racing quad, I didn't really take the cover off of it and look, but it's pretty tough. I think it can handle it. Even if a rat got it, it wouldn't hurt my feelings that bad. But the chopper now, that's got like 35,000 in that, and I don't want to replace too much stuff. I've already got a bunch of stuff that I can replace because I've already got 2 of everything, just about valve covers and all that stuff. I picked up those because they were $600, and my buddies, they're from a club, and they were like, "Here, take them, dude. Don't worry about it." So I've got all kinds of good stuff for my chopper because they liked it so much. They have bike parts, and so I got an American suspension front end that's worth about $4,000, and it's another 3 inches longer than the picture that I have. The front end that's on it now. If you see the picture, you see it's pretty stretched, but I got another front end that's all inverted. It's all the new stuff. This is all Arlen Ness, brand new, the best you can buy. You know what I mean? If you go and try to buy this stuff, you'll go broke. I was lucky I have friends in low places.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they never ask me for no money. They just sit here, man. Whatever you need, let us know.
Ain't gonna argue with that one.
No, man. I've been blessed that way. People actually like me, so that's pretty good.
You know,
I was a hated person way when I was a youngster, but I don't know. I basically turned over a new leaf and been a pretty good guy.
well, shit. It seems like I should have known you more back in the day.
Oh, I've calmed down a lot, even though I am pretty crazy these days. But oh yeah, in the old days, man, I'd jump in a minute and just start boxing or whatever. That's another thing. I was trained in boxing. I did karate, and I did wrestling. So when you do all that stuff, you really don't have any fear of fighting. You know what I mean? I can take a hit just as good as I can give one.
Right.
Oh, got me a ding. Somebody texted me. All right. Yeah, it's just a rough life out here. California, everybody thinks it's all sunshine and all the good stuff. It is, a lot. We ride all year round and things. We ride in our shorts and tank tops, and, we get a burn here and there. But basically, the people I ride with, we don't worry about wrecking. We don't worry about getting killed. We don't worry about none of that stuff. We don't wear all that gear. I mean, if we go on a long ride, we might wear some leathers and things, but mostly we just ride. And if you get killed, you're just dead, but you're happy you were riding.
Right. Shit, that's how we pretty much do it out here too.
Yeah. Well, I heard Hollywood saying that he wouldn't ride with shorts on and stuff, and I was like, wow, man, really? We do that all the time out here. Everybody does.
Oh, I won't ride with shorts on. No.
Really? We wear tennis shoes and shorts and tank tops, man, when it's a hot day. If you wear a big old coat and all that stuff, you'll cook.
No, I'll throw my jeans and boots on and stuff and my vest, and then I'll go. But I want a little bit of protection on my legs.
Well, yeah, for maybe bugs or something if you don't have a full fairing. I've got leg protection, all that. Even on my chopper with nothing, I was riding like that. I use a fake helmet most of the time. Ain't even real. I've got some real ones, but I wear my fake one too. I got one of them chrome domes, German helmet. It's just for looks, but I wear it. I got a thick noggin. Although if it hits something hard, I guess I'm dead. But
Yeah,
I don't worry about that.
Sucker.
Yeah, you crack it like an egg.
Right?
Yeah.
Hollywood is saying he's leaving tomorrow for Tomahawk over in Wisconsin. And I'm hearing China Doll saying that she's going to layer up. I'm like, it's only going to be about 50 degrees up there, you little whiny baby.
I know, man. You know what? I ride like this at 50 degrees, tank top. I love cold. I hate the heat.
Hell, and out at the festival at the campground where our tent is, if it hits 40 degrees, we're out in that tent with some blankets, and we have to go to the bathroom. We get up, we walk to the biff and do our thing, come back, and we're sleeping with thin blankets.
Right, just blankets. I was going to say they've got some really good sleeping bags these days, man. Like, you won't get cold in them, man. Those mummy bags and things. Oh man, they're really good. Yeah, me too. I can't use them. I go through the winter time with maybe one blanket, a thin blanket over me, and that's about it. Because any more than that, I'll be just soaking the bed. I sweat a lot. I don't know why, but I'm always hot, seems like.
Well, our diabetes medication helps with that.
Yeah, that's possible.
Because I never used to sweat like this until I became diabetic, and now it's hard for me to get comfortable with the blanket.
You're diabetic also, huh?
Type 2.
Yeah, same here. But I'm graduating up to type 1 real quick, it seems like. If I don't start watching what I'm eating, man, I've been really slacking lately. I was doing so good, and then just lately I've been bad. I've been a bad boy.
I'm trying to get off that insulin, I tell you.
My buddy said that he wasn't taking any of his medicine, and he was really going haywire. And he was always forgetting and things. Well, they got a deal that you can take a shot once a month. And at least I think that's what he said, once a month or once a week. I'm not sure, but you take that shot and poke it in your gut, and you don't have to take the pills, man. He might be worse off than me, though, because that's insulin, and I don't have to do that yet. So
I take my metformin, my glipizide.
That's what I got.
And some statin for my cholesterol.
Same here.
But I
got a handful of pills twice a day.
Yep. And I've got my insulin. But I also take
you got
the Trugenta. I want to say maybe it's not Trugenta. It's a once a week shot.
That might be it.
$1,000 just for 4 tubes.
Oh my God! Really? Wow.
Yeah. And
his insurance must be paying for it because he ain't. I know that.
My insurance is picking up the whole tab. They didn't want to cover it until my doctor said that it helps me with my diabetes.
Right.
So,
he has to recommend it.
My
doctor's pretty cool. He's an Indian fella. And I kept telling everybody, I'm never getting me an Indian guy, man, because they kind of took over here too. And he's a cool dude, man. He got me my disability like that. filled out all the paperwork for me and did all that. Any kind of medicine I need or whatever, he's doesn't have a problem, giving me multiple prescriptions.
Dang.
So yeah, man, he was wanting to give me back my narco pills for my back, but I told him he wanted me to quit the weed, man, and I can't do that. I get more out of the weed than I do those narcos. So
Right.
I told him, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, back
And then
when
you
I was-
feel terrible, dude, because the federal government has got those pills right up their butt. And so you can't do anything without a piss test. Like you eat pills every month, you're going to piss test. And I did enough of that, on probation and parole and shit, or probation, I should say. And, not parole, but probation. And, I just hate that, man. It makes me feel degraded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
I'm just a person that's got a messed up back, and I shouldn't be treated like a criminal just because I want 1 or 2 pills a day. I mean, not that they do me they're not getting me high or nothing. They're just taking the edge off the back pain, but
Yeah, and that's
hey, I've
all
been
you're
roughing it
asking.
for many years, and I can rough it some more. So heck with it.
But that's all you're asking is to kill that pain.
Yeah, at least a little bit, So what I've been doing lately is we opened up a little, not me myself, but someone opened up a little dispensary right down the road here. And I've been eating a lot of those edibles they got, which
Okay.
makes you pass out and go to sleep if you don't fight them. Like I fight them and stay stoned for all day long, but if you happen to get kind of slow and you're not doing anything, you're liable to nod off. You know what I mean? If you eat like massive quantities like I do.
Well, hell, I'll have to take a small bite because it's going to knock me on my ass.
Nah, I've been buying these little peanut butter cups
Yep.
infused with THC, and they give you 10 of them for like $16. And if I eat like all of them or almost all of them, I feel pretty good. If I can eat 2 of them and feel just a little bit of, just a little buzz or something. But
Right.
and I like to kick it in really good. So I'll eat about 7 and I give her a couple, 7 or 8, and she gets a couple, and we're all good. I'm good for the whole day after that, though. I'm
Damn.
still partying and doing everything else I did, but it helps the back. Takes your
Oh,
mind
I
off
bet.
of it.
I bet.
You guys are legal out there in Illinois, right?
In Minnesota, we are.
Oh, you're in Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota.
We're legal for medical, and they just approved the flower, but we don't have recreational yet.
Oh, well, we got it all. And I put in the unaffiliated. I put in there on general the other day. I went over to a neighborhood grow I guess they're growing about 60 acres of marijuana plants.
Holy cow!
And yeah, out in but they do have 7,000 volt fence. So, I mean, you don't want to be messing with it, because I asked my phone, I asked them, hey, would 7,000 volts kill you? It said no, but it'll put the hurt to you. So I ain't messing with it. But
right?
yeah, there's a picture in there of if you happen to see it, of they're probably 2-3 feet tall, and there's just as far as you can see. And they're fenced up about 12-15 foot tall fence with razor wire, electrical wires everywhere.
Oh man!
And yeah, it's even got tarps up, so you can't really without looking over the tarps, you won't know what's back there. I knew it because last year when they put the place in, I smelt it, man. I was driving by and I went, hey, wait a minute. What is this? And I went over and I happened to look over that deal, and I said, oh man, they're growing here. They had a little problem a few months ago, and the sheriffs came out and tore all the stuff out, and they had to I guess get their paperwork fixed and whatever was wrong with it. And so they just got a new crop in, and now it's about 3 feet tall, and they probably have another month of growth. So they'll be kind of small, but you know what? Works perfect for dispensaries. You know, they want
Right.
small bud mainly. Maybe not small bud, but anything just so big or so is good.
Well, hell, maybe I can get a growing license here and turn my backyard
Ooh.
into a whole pot field.
Well, here we are allowed to grow 6 plants indoors, not outdoors. And I kind of fudge on that a little bit. But indoors, it's not worth it, man. If you try to
Right.
grow 6 plants with lights and electric and all that stuff, it'll cost you so much. You could have just went out and bought the dang weed and saved yourself a bunch of work, man. You know,
Right?
you know how power is these days, man. You use a little
Oh, yeah.
bit too much and they move you to another tier, and then you're paying double for the juice that you're using, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's cost us damn near $300 a month with the
Same
portable
here.
air conditioner in the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 air conditioners going, and it's $300, and I'm paying for water because we have a pump here,
Okay.
well water, you know, and my neighbor uses it too, so we're paying for his water too, I guess. But yeah, it's like $300 here too, man. But I've been running this air all summer, and it's been like I keep it about 65, maybe 70 in the house. But it's hot outside. When it was 117, that was a record, man, for us about 2 weeks ago. And let me tell you, even with the air cranked up, it was hot. And then this humidity comes along because we got the monsoons moved in.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, that's not any better. I hate the humidity worse than the heat. Although the heat nowadays, the older I get, feels like it's baking the skin. You know, it's just super hot sun, man. I'm almost worried that our ozone is going worse than they're letting on, you know.
Last I heard, the one over Arizona, not Arizona, over Australia, repaired itself.
Yeah, I heard that too. That they were, but that was because we stopped using them planes and stuff over the pandemic, and the air was able, or the sky was able to rebuild. But they're back at it. You know, I don't think we need all these airplanes flying every day, but you know, I guess there's a lot of people that want to fly. I don't know why, but they're dying to go see something, I guess, somewhere.
Well,
I really don't have that problem. I don't want to go to China. I don't want to go to anywhere that don't like Americans. You know what I mean? Especially because you're liable to get to be a hostage or murdered. You know, even in Mexico, right now they're having gang wars out here.
Man.
Yeah, right over the border there in Juarez, and they telling everybody right now, don't go to Mexico because you're liable to get killed.
Damn.
Yeah, they're really going at it right now because there was a crackdown. They were trying to crack down on all the drugs coming over, and really, it's so corrupt in Mexico that everybody's got their hands in everybody's pockets, and so our government really can't do much in their country. I believe we went there once or twice with some army people and took out the poppies and things like that. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in Mexico that ends up in America here. And in the old days, I was happy to see it, you know. But these days, man, I'm like, no, man, all it's doing is corrupting everything and making everybody have to watch everything you own because, you know, I heard of something about Illinois that you can't call the cops to throw people off your property and things like that. Well,
yeah,
they'll still come out over here, but it's real hard for them to actually throw a person off your property. They'll ask them to leave, and they'll tell you flat out, you're going to have to get a eviction notice. All that. Really? You know, and this dude's just a bum that came and camped out in my garage. No, I'll grab them by the
Yeah.
scruff and be out of there.
Here you got to serve them with an eviction.
Yeah, man. You too, huh? They're trying to do that here.
You know,
I wouldn't do it. I just toss them, just get them and get out of here. Next time I catch you here, you're gonna get beat up. You know, and that works sometimes. But them guys, I'm not down on any homeless people or anything like that. I feel sorry for the guys, and I know that most of them have bad drug habits and things. I was happy that I got out of that scene many years ago, and my only bad thing is a beer or two and a little whiskey once in a while, and I smoke weed. That's it. But
Yep.
you know,
Well,
I've
you're
been
doing
smoking
good.
all my life, so hell with it.
Well, you're doing good. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
say-
proud of myself because about 40 years ago or 35 years ago, I quit any kind of drugs, mainly cocaine.
yeah,
And that's the best thing that ever happened to me, man. Get rid of that stuff. I never really liked any of the speed or anything like that. I just ain't into that stuff. Just not me. I'm kind of a kickback partying guy that likes to be, if anything, in the old days, we ate a lot of Reds. You know, have you ever heard of those?
oh yeah,
In the old second all. Yeah.
oh yeah. I've heard all that.
My cousin used to pop scripts, and he did about 10 years in prison for that. But I'll
Oh,
tell you,
wow.
we ate so many pills, you couldn't believe it. Every kind you could think of. That was kind of a big thing in the 60s and early 70s, I think, where I was at. When you watch Easy Rider, you'll see they were popping acid and all that. Oh, we ate acid like it was candy back in them days.
Oh yeah, I remember that back in the '90s, popping acid all the time.
Yeah. Back, we tried just about anything you could get high on, but none of it was good for me. I just mainly stuck with the coke and weed and pills. The second all, and we had a lot of Valiums, things like that. Those God dang it, what they call them? The F14s.
Okay.
Those God, I don't know. Big old pill. We paid $5 a piece for them. Roras, that's what they were.
Okay.
714s. Yeah, I knew it'd come back. I'd buy a bunch of those, man. And you talk about you drink a little beer with that, one of those pills, and you are out, boy. That's the only time I wrecked my car in my whole life was when I was high on pills.
Damn.
That time was Valiums, but
I'm gonna end this here. We're 2 hours.
okay,
in.
bro. Yeah, I was just noticing it's been a couple hours, man. I had a good
Right.
time, man, talking to you and stuff.
Oh, definitely. You know, I have to shower and I gotta pack yet and get ready, my shit ready to go.
I know, bro. I didn't expect to stay on this long, but we got going again, you know.
Oh,
We're good about them 2-3 hour ones.
right? I ain't worried
Yeah.
about it. I ain't worried about
Yeah.
it. You know,
Heck yeah. Well, you know, it was good, man.
at least we ain't doing a video game.
Right. Wasting our time. Although I like that the one with the guitar was that they had the
Guitar Hero.
drums and that thing is kind of fun.
Oh, I love Guitar Hero.
Grand Theft Auto is kind of fun. I don't play the games much, but when my kid would come over years ago, and those were his favorites, and so I'd try to play them. You know, I wasn't very good, but I had fun with them a little bit.
I used to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
I would drive around, picking up the hookers, screw them,
yeah, and slap them and throw them out of the car. Yeah,
beat them up,
Switch
kill 'em,
bikes
and
and
take
things.
their money and go.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a cool game, man. For dang sure.
Then after a while doing that, the hookers don't come up to you anymore.
Right. I used to
know?
grab them and I'd throw them, slap them, and throw them on the ground. And then I'd go grab a bike and run around town and jump stuff and all kinds of just tearing up stuff, not trying to do the game so much. I just
Right?
run around and then, run over people and just doing mayhem. I thought that was fun.
Well, it's the only game you can pretty much take your aggression out and not hurt anybody for real.
Right. Right. Exactly it.
You
For
know?
sure.
So,
All right, brother. I guess we'll get on out of here. And hey, glad for all the guys that came and checked us out and everything, and happy to see them all.
yeah, seems like we had quite a few on here tonight.
Heck yeah. I would have came on last night, but you were talking about fairies, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut, so I stayed away. I had some jokes for that, man, a bunch of them, but I just said, "Nah, I won't go on, and I'll spare him that one."
Yeah, you weren't the only one that got me here about it today. So
Yeah, I'm sure, man. The old fairy with boots stuff. I heard old Stubbs talking about it earlier. He was laughing. We were both laughing about it, but
right.
that was all cool.
Fairies, not the ones right on your feet either.
Yeah.
So
All right, brother.
all right,
You have a
man.
good one, man. I'm gonna go and kick back and get ready. I got doctor's appointments and birthday party and everything else tomorrow,
All
and I
right,
got to
man.
drive like 100 miles to get to it. So it's gonna be a long day, I'll tell you.
All right, well then you take care and do what you need to do.
Right on, man. Have a good one.
All right,
We'll
Randy.
catch you on the flip flop. Peace.
All right, you be safe.
You too, man.
All right. So we're 2 hours in. We're going to end the broadcast, but just remember, you see a motorcycle, give it the respect it deserves. It's the same rules as a car, same space, parking on the road. It deserves that kind of respect. And as you've seen tonight, we may start out on topic, but we don't end with the topic. We go off topic quite a bit. But that's all right because we're all talking and having a good time. So with that, I'll say we'll catch y'all later. And I thank y'all for coming and checking us out and just giving us a listen and giving us crap. I really appreciate it. Be safe. Keep the rubber side down. And as always, be a decent human.